All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's get started. My name is Fausto Pugliese, president and founder of Cyber Trading University. Want to do a quick audio check? Can everyone hear me loud and clear? All right, excellent. Let me just get a little organized here, and we'll get started in about a minute. Okay. All right, so today's topic, ladies and gentlemen, is learn discipline by using a trade journal. New topic that we're going to be covering today. I know a lot of people are excited about it, and I'm going to teach you a little bit about what is journaling, how does it work, why do we use it, and most importantly, get into the fun part of trading, which I want to talk about. What is high-frequency trades, stocks that we've traded today, and you hearing some of the feedback from some of the students that are members of Cyber Trading University, which I know we have a lot of them here, and I will be sharing you our professional trading room and showing you some of the students that are there today and what they're doing in today's markets and what we've done. Because remember one very important thing that everyone's going to be learning moving forward from today. You have to learn before you could earn. Now, the thing is this, ladies and gentlemen, why people fail in trading? Well, 90% of the people fail is from not being educated. And I'm going to tell you a little history about myself and make you feel and know what it's like to be in that situation. Because I want every single one of you today to leave to learn two very important things. And the two things are this. You're going to continue and make an investment in your education to do this as a career, or you're going to quit and go back to your day job, okay? Because what I'm about to show you, ladies and gentlemen, is I'm going to show you situations. I'm going to show you stocks. I'm going to show you how to play the games. I'm going to show you stocks even today that we were up 20, 30, 50% on the day. And if that doesn't impress you, and if that doesn't show you of how to trade side by side with a champion, just do yourself a favor. Quit today and go back to your day job, because this is what you have to understand. To learn to find stocks like this, you have to surround you by the best people in the industry, and that's what we feel at Cyber Trading University. So let me go out there and show you a little bit about it and explain it. A couple of things we're going to be learning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to talk about how online brokerage firms make money off you. You know, why you don't need them. You know, half of you, and you know, one thing about trading, and don't take this as a negative, take it as a positive. Half the people fail in trading because the first mistake that they make is they open up a brokerage account. That's the biggest mistake that they make. Now, you can't buy a car if you don't know how to drive it first. The easiest thing to do is buy the car. The easiest thing to do is also crash, you know, by not knowing how to drive. So I'm going to talk about that is half the people that fail in the market. Next thing you're going to learn, discipline. I'm going to talk about discipline of what you need to do as psychology goes. I want to talk about trading journals, which is we're going to talk about a day journal, a monthly journal. What are high-frequency trades? The KISS method, stocks that we've traded. And I'm not talking about yesterday or last week or last month. I'm talking about today. Okay, and we can look at next week or last week and the week before, but I'm going to show you what it's like going on and much, much more. So just a quick little intro about Cyber Trading University, ladies and gentlemen. Let me just tell you a little bit about me, because I want you to understand. I was you almost 20 years. 20 years ago, I was one of you that started, and what you could see right there in the Forbes magazine, that was one of my colleagues that I used to day trade with, and we were basically terrorizing Wall Street because we were one of the original day traders, the original SOS bandits that started trading. And the reason for that is because, you know, being a market maker is like this big exclusivity, this private club that you were not allowed in, okay? But it was the top of the totem pole. And the thing that I learned as a trader, ladies and gentlemen, when it comes to trading, is that trading, you got to know how to play the game. And that's the thing that you have to learn when it comes to trading. And that's what I teach you. I show you how to find these stocks, how to buy them, how to sell them. And the reason why I know this stuff is because I was trained by some of the best traders in the world on Wall Street. And that's the thing that you have to look at, ladies and gentlemen. You need to learn how to play the game. And most of you don't know how to play the game. And that's what I'm going to be teaching you and explain it to you. Back to my history, ladies and gentlemen. I started when I was 22 years old. And the thing was this. When I first started, I was a huge, huge failure. I've lost several $100,000s of my own money for one reason and one reason only: ignorance. I was that punk kid that went out there and says, what do I need to go to school for? I'll go learn it on my own. Now, how many of you have gone to college? How many of you actually spent all this money or your own children and sent them to school? Well, this is not something you can go to college and learn. But there are schools to learn it, like Cyber Trading University, as of today. But back then there were schools, but I didn't want to go. Because you know why? I didn't want to spend the money. And number two, I didn't feel like, I don't know if I'm ready to learn. You know what I said? Let me go out there and try it first. If I like it, then I'll learn. Now, let's be honest. Would any of you here give your money to any of those people you see on CNBC or any mutual fund or any hedge fund manager? Would you, any of you, give your money, your IRA that you worked several years to save money on taxes and whatever you did for your pension, everything, would you give your money to them if they never learned how to trade the market? Obviously, it's a dumb question, and we're going to say we have a dumb answer. No. Well, guess what? You're doing the same exact thing. And that's what I want to try to prove to you. Trading is one of the best jobs in the world. I actually say it's the best job in the world. You are your own boss. You can come and go whenever you please. You could do this anywhere in the world, but you need to know how to play the game. So, with that said, ladies and gentlemen, at the age of 24 years old, I was semi-retired. And what I mean by that, I was only working about an hour a day. Now, for some of you, I'm going to share my my professional trading room, all the students that I've trained, and some people doing trials of my professional trading room, and you'll see and witness from their own mouth, from the horse's mouth themselves, and they're going to tell you that we trade stocks up 20, 30, 50% every single day, and how they're making money today, okay? So don't believe me. You're going to hear it from them. Now, why are they doing so great? And why was I retired at a young age? Because trading's a part-time job. And what happened with me, ladies and gentlemen, is that I went out there and I competed against the best schools in the industry. I could almost guarantee you, if anyone, I went up against every single school that competed against me, and I beat every single one of them. Some of you have taken a school I went up against. I beat the instructor. I beat the owner. I beat them all. And I hate to, not to be conceited, but I would have been a 25-time champion if I could have got some more people that went up against me. And the reason why made me different and why I beat every one of them is because they're not traders. I live here in New York. This is the financial capital of the world. You want to learn acting? You go to Hollywood. You want to be in the oil business? You go to Texas. You want to learn about the stock market? You learn from traders, on Wall Street, which is New York. And that's what happened. Now, what ended up happening, ladies and gentlemen, I love what I do. I have a passion for what I do. And that's how I got into the education business, because I do both. People always ask me, says, Fausto, why do you teach if you were such a great trader? Some of you love to ask that question, right? Because, well, what is your professor doing at college? I do both. And it wasn't too healthy to be a 24-year-old to be semi-retired, if you know what I mean. Now, let me move on and let me get to talk about why 80 to 90% of the people are failing. I got a couple of questions that are coming across here. Just give me a second. Let me just try to answer some of these questions. Okay, now a couple of questions came in here, and just apologize that the chat is being kept on private, but we could read all the chat. When you're a student, we unchat it. But Mike has a very good question. He goes, Fausto, I paid to take courses, and I'm still losing. Okay, what makes your class any different? I'm not watching a computer 24 hours a day. You know what, Mike? That is an excellent question. And guess what? When you get to the end of this presentation, I'm going to answer that question in great detail, because you're right. You don't need to be sitting by a computer 24 hours a day. That's number one. And number two, and this goes for everyone, I know most of you did take courses, probably did make an investment in education. The question is, who really taught you? Who really went out there and showed you how, who trained you how to do it? And that's the thing that you have to learn. I'm going to get into good detail about that, Mike. Excellent question, though. Why 90% of the people fail? Well, first of all, trading is a job. This is not investing, okay? We've traded several stocks this morning, okay? Have any of you ever heard of a stock symbol called CLDX? CLDX. Anybody hear of it? I'll put it in the chat room. CLDX. We're going to check it out in a little bit, okay? This is just a chat from Grant Brockway. This is coming in right here. One of our students right here. It's going to put that in there. You can probably read his chat right there. That is Brock. Ever heard of it? Anybody know what it does? Anybody have any idea? Can I tell you one thing? I'll tell you one thing about me. Who the hell cares? This is, when I go into a job, I don't look at the company. I don't care what it does. I'm not prejudiced on a stock because maybe things that they do that I don't like, maybe because of the price. I feel a lot of traders are prejudiced. And the reason why I use that word is because you look at a stock and you're like, you know what? The reason why I don't like that stock because because it's an ugly symbol, or because it's not the right price, so it must be a junk company. Okay? That's not how traders work. Traders look for opportunities to make money. Okay, and I'm going to show you some of these stocks. Trading is a game. You need to know how to play the game. And the game is what I'm going to show you in the next few moments. How to find stocks. Going through a shopping list. Look what's moving in the market in the morning. Okay, finding out who the dominating market maker is. Okay. Deborah is just coming in the chat room and sharing her thoughts right here. Okay. Regarding of the stock that you traded, CLDK. Thanks for sharing that, Deborah. And you know what, Deborah? I'm going to bring up the cyber group room. We'll bring it over so you guys can talk about it. Carl is a very good question. Carl's question is, let me just put it in there for everybody. Carl's question is, which comes first, trading stocks or options, Carl? That is an excellent question. Now, first of all, what comes first, the horse or the carriage? Okay, and that's, you know, a funny way of looking at it, but think about it. What makes an option move? It's the movement of the stock. So you have to learn how to trade stocks first before you could trade options. Because if you didn't see the option, if you don't see the stock moving, how do you trade the option? Options are great, but if you want to be a good options trader, you first have to be a good day trader. All right, Carl, but that is an excellent question, and that is a very, very popular failure in the industry because people do the opposite. Now, greatest job in the world. All right, well, why is trading the greatest job in the world? Well, first of all, we're all in the market, okay? That's why most of you are here. We all trade the market, and if not, you're going to trade it eventually. And the thing is, you are your own boss. You can do this anywhere in the world. You could do it in your pajamas. You can do it from your boat. You can do it from your cell phone. It's a second job, and it's a part-time job. And it's a free job. And you could do it as a business. But the thing is, you got to have an attitude, and you got to be prepared, and you got to have fun. And that's what I'm about to show you right now. So let's talk about, you know, famous line from Clint Eastwood always say, sometimes if you want to see changes for the better, you have to take things in your own hands. How many of you here are so frustrated with your broker or your online broker, and you're putting orders and you can't cancel it, or you're talking to some guy on the other side of the phone and he has absolutely no clue. You're talking to some kid that knows nothing about the market. Meanwhile, you got your money on the line, or you have your money with a mutual fund, and you're sending them an order, and all they do is hit you with fees. And you're thinking they're making you money, and like, when you stop and think about it, Mike is screaming out. He says, yeah, I'm one of them, So the thing is, think about it. What do you need them for? You could do it yourself. What do you think the markets want you to go out there? They want you to do everything yourself now. You could, and that's what you have to learn first. So let's take matters in our own hands. Let's start talking with a trading journal. Now, is anyone here using a trading journal? Anybody know, anybody use like a monitor their trade of what they're buying and what they're selling? Anybody here do that? Tim is doing it. Okay, a few of you are doing it. Wow, getting a lot of no's actually. A lot of you saying no. Just started using one, Russ. Okay. Yes, Andre using it. Because of me, you're using it. That's a good one. I like that one. Somebody's put in the chat, I've been contacted by several brokerage firms and customer services, and when they get a technical question, they have absolutely no idea what I'm talking about. So what do you need them for, right? So anyway, let's go talk about the trading journal. And let's talk a little bit about the consistency. I like to compare trading journal is like a diet. Okay, they say one of the best diets is just counting calories. That's why whenever you look in the back of a label, you look at the back of a label, you're always looking like, well, how many calories, foul content, and stuff like that. With trading journals, the same thing. Okay, now I'm going to introduce you at the end of the presentation. We're going to go for about another 45 minutes, and I'm going to introduce you to some of my on-site students. I did an on-site class here in New York. We have a great training facility here in New York. We're a really high-end boutique educational school. And one of the things that we were really working on while I was working with my students is knowing about managing your account, trading journal. The trading journal, ladies and gentlemen, what it does, it basically you use it to manage the stocks that you're in to learn from. Okay, so the trading journal, like I said, is like a diet. You're managing your trades. You're seeing where you're making money, where you're losing money, your entry points, your exit points. So the thing is this, on a trading journal, what I give my students, and by the way, at the end of this presentation, if you guys are interested, I'm going to give you my personal email address, FaustoP@ctucorp.com. Why don't you guys take that down? If you want to, if anybody would like a copy of my daily journal, it's a PDF version. I'll be happy to email it to you. Just send me an email, write it down, take it, and I'll give it to you at the end of the presentation as a gift from me to you. Now, what a trading journal, how you're supposed to use a trading journal is you're supposed to use it to monitor your trades, what stocks you bought. For example, we traded a stock today. We made a lot of money on CLDX, for example. And you want to write down basically how many shares you bought, okay? And did you do it at a market order or a limit order? How you basically do it. It's right there up on top. Fausto, if you can't see in the PowerPoint, I'll put it in the, there you go, right there in the chat room. You want to know if you've been putting a lot more limit orders, market orders. Any of you guys ever get partial tickets? You ever put orders out there and you're like, damn, I can't believe I got all these different prices. And if you knew you wouldn't pay that, you wouldn't have done it in the first place. Well, there's a theory, and it is a lesson that's taught specifically on that, okay? Rwanda has a question. Is that how you get more often market orders? It depends on the stock. Sometimes you have to do a market order. Sometimes you have to do a limit order. Okay, you have to know exactly where you purchased that stock, at what price you were buying it, what price you were selling it. Like for example, like this the CLDX, let's say we bought it at, I don't know, $13, okay, and you bought it at like 9:32 a.m. Price you sold it at, you know, I know this might sound crazy, but I think a lot of our students in 30 minutes got out of the position right around $15, okay? And they sold it all around 10 a.m., okay? And what did they do? A lot of them probably did market orders to take a huge profit. Next thing that you look at is, was it tradable? Did you see a trap? Did you see a head fake? Did you see a high frequency trade? You know, how much money did you make? $2,000 on the trade in 30 minutes. I know that might sound crazy, like, what? Is that really serious? Yes. Okay. And not everybody here made it, but you see some students chatting already, you know, only made 60 cents, you know, 60 cents on 1,000 shares at $600. A lot of money. How do you do this? Because you need to know where to look and how to find those stocks. And with the trading journal, this is doing is helping you manage your trades. Because with the trading journal, you're supposed to write your notes. You know, let me see. It's a cyber group trade, meaning it was in a cyber group room. You know, there was a big HFT trade for, you know, 200K on the bid. You know, these are things that are going to remind you why you made money on the stock, why you lost money on the stock. These are things that are going to train you day in, day in of becoming a very good day in trading. Most importantly, psychology. You know, what was your day when you woke up? Were you in a good mood? You in a bad mood? Did you have a fight with your wife? Were you, you know, did you have a great night's sleep? Did you finish with a nice happy meal? And, you know, all these little things will do pretty good. Deborah, one of my students here, she just put in the chat right there. Even at 500 shares, I made 80 cents. It's 400. Not bad for 15 minutes. Well, good for you, Deborah. JD goes, how do you find these equities? That's an excellent question, and we're not at that point right now, okay? I didn't get to that, JD, but good question. We're going to get to it, okay? All right. So daily journal, one thing you have to learn is you have to, you know, one thing I teach my students, and hopefully you're going to give me the opportunity to educate you guys, but you have to really keep an eye and learn why you're making money and why you're losing money. I have an old philosophy that I teach my students that I tell everybody, and I know this sounds crazy, but losing money is not a bad thing. Losing money is actually a very good thing. You know why? Because if you lose money, and you know why, you're not going to do it again. You're all going to lose money. It's part of the game. You need to know how to play that game. And you know what? Nobody goes undefeated. Anyone here have kids? I was just talking to one of my employees today, yesterday. He was telling me that his son was playing lacrosse yesterday, and he was literally bursting in tears because he lost 14-0. You know, and I said, you know what? By him knowing what it feels to lose, makes him more hungry to be a better trader. How many of you feel, you know, anyone here married? How many of you here fight with your spouse? They say it strengthens the relationship. Well, trading's the same thing. You can't think you're going to win on every trade. You got to be prepared to lose, because the faster you make those mistakes, the faster you're going to learn. And when it comes to trading, you got to know what you're getting yourself involved in. You got to learn from those mistakes. And the trading journal is important because this reminds you why you made money and lost money. Now, not only of the course of the day, let's talk about the month. Thank you for sharing that, Chris. Fighting with my wife only strengthens her, Fausto. Well, hopefully we could take that anger and apply it to the trading, right? Now let's talk about the monthly journal. Now, because not only as a daily journal, one thing I also give my students that I train you is how do you know to progress to the next level, okay? Like, for example, some of you here, you know, how do you know if you're ready to go and become a white belt to a yellow belt to a brown belt to a black belt? I mean, how do you know if you're ready to take that next step to be a $50,000 a year trader to a $100,000 a year trader to a $250,000 a day trader? You know, you just don't wake up in the morning and say, oh, I want to make 15% on my money. 15% is nothing. 50%, 20% is peanuts. Well, 20% on what? Okay? If I open an account with $10,000, I make 20%. I work my whole life, all day, an hour a day, whatever it is, to make 20%. What is that, $2,000 over the course of the year? Are you here to make $2,000 over the course of the year, ladies and gentlemen? Okay, so $50,000 account. 20% is $10,000. Are you here to make $10,000? I mean, you're not here to make $10,000. That's why you can't look at percent. You got to look at dollar amount. And that's the way you have to look at it. James has a question. Wait a minute, Fausto. I know how to lose money. I just want to know how to make money. Well, James, you know what? I know that's why you're here, and that's something I'm gonna get into more detail. The thing is this: you have to learn how to control losses to learn how to make money. Listen, if we were all making money like you just mentioned, James, most of you probably wouldn't be here. Okay. The thing is, and not only that, maybe you are doing good, but you want to like tweak and fine tune because you want to learn from a professional trader. Why am I still making these same little mistakes? Remember, great traders never stop learning. Jim has a question. Are these 165 people in the trading room? No, this is a free webinar. This is not the trading room. Okay, this is just a free event. Now, for the monthly journal, one thing I kind of teach my students is I show you how to start with your opening balance, how to manage and graph yourself, how much your averaging losses are, how much averaging losing are. Remember, you know, finding stocks, like you just mentioned, Jim, finding stocks is easy. I'm telling you, it's the easiest thing. I know it sounds crazy, but that's easy. The hard part is, you know, is budgeting. Okay, you know, it's easy, and I'll put this in a very good layman terms. You know, it's easy to go to work and make money, right? Actually, it's hard to make money, but it's pretty damn easy to blow it all. And we all know, every one of us budget our money. We all budget our money, right? You just, you know, if you make $1,000 this week, doesn't mean you blow $2,000 tomorrow. You run a house, you got a car, you got insurance. The same philosophy is the same thing about trading in the market. And that was one of the big things that what I've learned when I first started, okay, is budgeting, managing, discipline, not getting greedy. Now, trading is a part-time job, okay? I know that sounds crazy, but you know what? I'm going to show you a couple of stocks that we traded this morning, and my students will be happy to share their thoughts on it. But the thing is this: you have to understand that this is not a full-time job. If you're treating it like a full-time job, you're wasting your time. Trading is 90% education, 10% trading. If you're not spending 90% of your time learning, then you're spending too much time trading. There's a very small window when to make the money and when to lose money in trading, and that's what we're going to talk about. I'll give you an example. CLDX, okay, here's a stock that moved this morning, and you could see right from here, ladies and gentlemen, that the stock right at 9:30, right here, after 15 minutes, the stock literally ran from about $13 all the way as high as almost $16 a share. It's actually $15.50. So do the math. Look what happened with that stock. All this action happened early this morning. Once all that action took place, after 10 o'clock, look at the trading range. I mean, don't get me wrong, 15 cents, 25 cents is a lot. But trading is a part-time job. And this is one of the stocks, for example, we traded today. Here's another example of some stocks that we traded. Probably very familiar with the stock called Plug. Here's 930. The stock right at the open at 930 ran from 635 all the way to 695. Do the math. Does everybody have a calculator? What is 695? What is 1,000? What would cost you to buy 1,000 shares of that stock? Of a $6.35. How much would that cost you to buy 1,000 shares of that stock? Should all be able to answer this. If you can't add 1,000 plus $6.35, I recommend you to log out of this meeting and go back to third grade. Okay? You should all be able to answer this. It's $6,300. Okay? Don't be shy. No one's going to pick on you. In 15 minutes, $6.35 minus $6.95 is how much? How much is that? What is $6.95 minus $6.35? That's right, 60 cents. And Stanley's getting pretty active. He's right, 60 cents times 1,000 shares is $600. Do you know what $600 is times 5 days a week? Ever have a calculator? 600 times 5. 600 times 5 equals $3,000. Now, times that by 52 weeks is how much money? Everybody? Not bad, right? It's pretty good money. And now look at it. How much money do you need to invest into that stock? Did you need $50,000? Did you need $100,000? No, you needed $6,000. So that's where I'm telling everybody you don't really need to go out there and spend a lot of money on trades. You don't need a lot of money to open up an account. Carl says, if I make $150,000, I want 2 weeks off. Carl, listen, this is why I got into the education business, because when I started, I was the guy trying to make, making ridiculous amount of money in the beginning, but I didn't know how to budget myself. And then, and my mentors always taught me, said, Fausto, the account is going to take care of itself, okay? You need to learn how to be consistent. Are you journaling yourself? Are you ready to go to that next level? You got to learn how to be consistent. You're not going to make the big moves on every stock. I mean, we have stocks that move 20, 30, 50% a day. You don't need it all. Great traders never buy at the bottom, sell top, but we do need to buy it at certain times during the day. And obviously, it's in the morning and in the afternoon. Okay? So the thing is, take the day off. Take the day off and enjoy yourself, because that's what trading is all about. How much you need to start, Linda? That's a good question. How much did you need to buy 1,000 shares of a $6 stock? Not a lot of money. Not a lot of money at all. Okay? $6,000? I mean, really think about it. So, let's go to the next thing. Let's talk about high-frequency trades. Okay, anybody here know what a high-frequency trade is? Anybody know what a high-frequency trade is? Okay, a few of you? Yes, yes, yes. Regarding about some of you chatting about, the $25,000 rule, that doesn't apply for everyone. That only applies to, certain people, and there are ways around that rule. And if you want to know more about it, call our office and talk to our education advisors. I can tell you this: the brokerage firm you have an account with is not going to tell you that. Okay? Remember, we are not the brokerage firm. We work for you. Okay? So if you want to know more about, if you're getting caught up in certain rules or regulations, give us a call and we'll tell you, and there's nothing illegal about it. Everything's legal. I mean, everyone's in the same boat. Talk to an education advisor and they'll be happy to answer those questions for you. Now, a lot of you here know about it. Some of you don't know about it, okay? Well, let me explain a little bit about high-frequency trade. You're probably reading a lot about it, seeing it on CNBC. There was a big article on CNBC about it. You know, everyone's saying this is like a disaster, it's a catastrophe, it's damaging the markets. First of all, this is the biggest asset for you. First of all, this causes liquidity, number one. And number two, the only people that it's hurting are the ones that don't know about it. Let me ask you something. As bad as it might seem, if I was able to tell you that high-frequency trades control 70% of the market, and you had the opportunity to see 70% of the volatility of the stock, the liquidity, how much is that worth to you? Yeah, Tony, it's about 70%. If you were able to see, Tony, 70% of the volume of a stock's movement, what is that worth to you? Everyone's saying, my God, it's worth everything. A lot of money. Priceless, Barry's saying. Okay, good. Would you pay $29 for it? Let me ask you this. Would you pay $29 to see it? Is it worth it to you if I could teach you for 29 bucks to see 70% of the volume? Okay. Rick says it's a hell of a deal. Of course it's worth it. Okay. And you know what? I'll let you know at the end of this presentation. And not only that, but I'm going to invite all of you for 2 weeks to watch me prove it to you every single day. Okay? So you have to wait to the end of the presentation if you want to learn more about it. But let's talk about what it is. All right? What you're going to actually see. This is what you're going to basically see. Everyone here know how to read a chart? Everybody here know how to read a chart? Okay, good. All right, so we got resistance levels here. We got support levels here. Stock goes back up. And when we look over here, that would be a resistance due to what happened here in the past. Well, what makes support and resistance levels on a chart is buying and selling. Okay? Buying and selling. Well, you must have had a buyer here. You must have had a seller here. So now you're back to that resistance level. You should have a seller here. The problem is you have a 2,000 share seller and you have a 75,000 share buyer. What do we have more, ladies and gentlemen? More buyers or more sellers? Okay. Now, when you have more buyers, what do you think the price of the stock's going to do? Go up or go down? That's right. Does that seem hard? Is that like common sense, right? Like, yeah, I mean, 75,000 shares. Even though the chart says resistant, I'm definitely on the buy side. I don't care what the hell the chart says. I'm on the team with the 75,000. Okay, because you and I are only probably trading a couple of hundred, maybe a couple of thousand. Now, ask yourself a question. How many of you here trade in the market and see the 75,000 share buyer in the stock that you're in? How many of you see that? Tony has a question. Why would that buyer be on the top of the list? Because he's a buyer, Tony. That's why he's buying it. That's why he's there. All right, we're getting a couple of chats back here, and people says, you don't see it. John doesn't see it. James doesn't see it. Okay. A lot of you are not seeing it. Well, if I was able to show you that, would you pay $29 for it? Is it worth 29 bucks to see a stock that you're in and see where those big 75,000 share blocks are? Okay. That is what, and that's what I want to see. A lot of you saying yes, and I'm going to show it to you. I'm going to give you 2 weeks to try it and see it and I'm going to prove it to you and show you how I could show you how to know when you're in a position to see those high-frequency trades. Because here you have examples, you know, stocks going up. And you're like, well, why is the stock going up? And why is stocks at resistance level? And why is there so many people still buying it? You know, and will it break new highs and new resistance levels? Because you need to see these block orders out there. Couple of chats coming in here. Debbie is saying, I spent a week in the trading room and see it for yourself. Well, I'm glad you've been seeing it, Deborah. That's the way I look at it. Larry's question is this a real order? How about this, Larry? If you think it's a fake order, why don't you go out there and execute it? You want to do that? You want to take a chance? Want to see if it's real? Why don't you get your order, open up you have an account open? Why don't we go in the market and why don't you execute the guy and see if he's real or not? You want to do that, Larry? Anybody want to do that? Because I get people that say that all the time. How do you know those are fake orders? And I'm not picking on you. Larry's saying no now. Larry, not picking on you, but I love that question because I always get people that ask me that question. And I'm just curious, Larry, why would you say that? Why would you, did someone tell you that? Did someone teach you that? Or like, why would you think that is a fake order? That's not real? What made you say that? Or is it just for figure of speech? Who makes them fake? We don't trust is from Mike's question. Well, the thing is this. John said a school that I took a course with that I lost money with. Okay, listen. The thing is this: they are real orders. Okay, these are not fake orders. Nobody will put a fake order out there, you know, unless they want to get executed. Now, can they change their idea? Listen, could they cancel and say, you know what? You know, listen, you put an order out there. Did you ever change your mind? You could do that. There's nothing fake about any one of these orders, okay? Anyone ever heard of program trading? You ever hear of program trading? That's program trading. These are orders that are out there automatically. All right, so the thing is this, ladies and gentlemen, you need to know and how to have a game. You need to know where you see the big block orders because 200 shares, 100 shares, are not going to make resistance levels. But when you have 14,000 share orders, 13,000 share orders, and they're hovering right around resistance levels, that would explain why the stock is going down. Look at the time here, 10:57, right? At 11 o'clock, look where we're at. We're at $4.85. The stock went down. Why? Because big block orders were coming in. Okay, and there's no buyers out there. 500, 600, 700. But here you're getting 11,000, 1,200, 1,200, 1,100, 2,000, 7,000, 3,000. The sellers are beating the buyers. So these are the things that you have to learn, ladies and gentlemen. How to have a game and learn how to play. So with that said, ladies and gentlemen, a couple of things. Here's my Twitter account. If you guys want to come and join me for Twitter, I do every day I do a recap of what we traded, and you could retweet it, you know, join our Twitter at CyberTradingU. If you want to watch some of the videos that we've done here, I have hundreds, and I mean hundreds of videos that you'll learn on our YouTube channel. Okay, and the ultimate goal here, ladies and gentlemen, is this. You're going to learn how much you don't know about trading. And the thing is this, you need to learn how to trade. You need to know how to play the game. Grant, thank you so much for sharing that. Grant said I paid $29 in January. I just had my third $1,000 day. Well, give Grant a round of applause. Grant was here last week for the on-site class. Grant, it was great to meet you and your wife. Lovely lady. It was great dinner. Loved it. You know, I can't thank all the students just coming out. And Brett is coming in here. Fausto's classes had the highest ROI, which means return on investment, of any of my various certain education degrees. Okay, I highly recommend him. And Brent is obviously an attorney, so he would know how much how much it costs to be an attorney going to school. So, if you guys want to learn a little bit more, register for those two, and you'll learn a little bit more how much more you can learn at Cyber Trading University. Now, we do also have a, like I said, we do the daily trades at the end of the day. We also run a live one that runs over the course of the day. That's a paying subscription. So if you want to join us for the $29 trial, you can get that one also. Now, let's talk about some stocks that we've traded, okay? CLDX, okay? Now, did anybody hear about CLDX? This was right here. This was a Twitter feed. Okay, this is stocks that I did this morning. I run a morning meeting at 9 a.m. And these are some of the stocks, the biggest winners, CLDX. Look at this winner, ladies and gentlemen. At 9:30, I did the meeting at 9 o'clock, okay? And I teach you about pre-market, and I educate you how to find pre-market stocks. And right at 9:30, this stock ran from $13 all the way to $15. A couple of questions coming across here. Let me just read these really quick. Why do people long-term trade when you can make a quick money in daily and not? Ron, that's an excellent question. You know why? Because a lot of people are very scared, Ron, of not knowing the real truth about day trading. They look at it as a bad thing, and they don't realize that is probably the most riskiest thing out there. And that's the way to look at it. A couple of chats is coming across here. Okay, now let me just bring this across here, ladies and gentlemen, and let me just change the slide. Now, this is the CLDX up 24%. This is the trade for the day. And these are basically the chats. You can see that Dwayne talking about. Dwayne was talking. He's in our trading room. Randy just made 20 cents on it. Thank you, Fausto. Got it. You know, for Clary going out there. Deborah. You can see all these tweets. And a lot of these people that are in here. Brent, there's Brett right there. He's basically just put a chat in there telling you a little bit of also out there. And this is just, you know, and this is how much chat is going on in about just a couple of minutes. All right. Now, what I'm going to do, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to go out there and I'm going to share my screen. Okay. Now, can everyone see my screen okay? Just give me a chat back. Can everybody see the screen okay? Oh, wow, guys, just really quick, let me just put this in there. CLDX. Just let everybody know about a CLX making a Fausto flag. All right. So anyway, just want to bring the chat here so everybody could see. These are the traders in here right now. They're trading in a professional trading room, and just want to kind of just let everybody know, just if everybody could chat in there. And right here, I'm going to scroll up, and you can see these are all the chats that were going on this morning of some of the stocks that we've traded. And right here, you could see, I'm just going to bring this up here for all of you so you can see this. And let me see. This is start at 9 a.m. We started a meeting. These are our picks right here at 9:15. I finished my meeting at 9 a.m. Here's the 9:15 picks. These are stock picks. And you can see if you work your way down here, you could see everybody that I'm trading with my traders. There's Grant talking about that. He just put that chat in there in the chat room. And basically, you could see everybody how much money they were making in a lot of these stocks. Now, if you want a copy of the text, you're more than happy to. But at the end of this presentation, if you want to join the chat room, Be more than happy to do that. So this is basically the professional trading room, and a lot of people obviously took off already because they all made their money this morning. There's people just sticking around and just having some fun for the rest of the day and getting ready for the afternoon. Rick says, I see ICL moving. All right, so with that said, ladies and gentlemen, this is the beauty about driving and doing this as a career. You can spend more time with your family, more time with your kids. How many of you are here semi-retired? How many of you here are too overqualified what you're doing now? Well, this is the greatest thing about this job. You can go out there, you can do it. You can get your hair done at the middle of the day. You know, this is what a great job. I'm telling you, it's one of the best jobs in the world. It's a part-time job. You know, men out there, you want to go play a round of golf. You know, how many of you love to do that? Maybe go doing some fishing. You don't. The hardest part about doing this as a career is taking the time and the investment to learn how to do it. And if you don't want to put the time to learn how to do it, can I just be honest with all of you? Quit your job and quit trading and go back to your day job. Because if you're not going to sit there and learn it, you're going to end up losing it all. Because it's an 80% failure rate. And that's why we all need to learn how to trade first. Now, you have to understand something. I've been doing this for 20 years. I love what I do, okay? We're a very unique boutique company. We're not a franchise. I own the company. I'm the president of the company. I started it. I have several instructors that work here. The way I kind of teach all my instructors how to trade is exactly what they are. Actually, some of my students even became instructors and started their own companies down the road, you know, because education is a very important tool if you want to be successful in any business. Well, if you're trying to get into this business, you need to learn how to do it first. Now, if anybody wants a copy of the lesson planner that I had and about the dark pools article, I gave everybody my email address. I'll give it to you again in the next few moments. Here's my email address. If you want a copy of the journal, Frankie, I see you emailed David. I got a bunch of emails. Jeff, Ronnie, Don, George. I got a bunch of emails coming across here. You want a copy of it? Yeah, no problem. Chase, everyone. Just send me an email. I'll be happy to give you a copy of the day journal so you could use it. Now, last but not least, just a few things I want to talk about right here, ladies and gentlemen, because I know everybody probably wants to know how to register for the event, the professional trading room. Just to let you know, before I give you that link, here at Cyber Trading University, the 12-time champion at the Money Show and Traders Expo, and last but not least, Cyber Trading University was ranked #1 school 6 years in a row by Equities Magazine. Now, how could you start learning today? Because my goal is to teach you how to make $200 to $500 a day. That's it. That's my goal, okay? That's about a $50,000 to $100,000 a year salary. How do we do that? Well, right on the home page of the website at Cyber Trading University, okay? Let me give you the link. I'll put it in the chat room. Right on the home page, let me just get the link for you again. There we go. There we go. Okay. So right here, ladies and gentlemen, I'll put it in the chat room. If you click on my name up on top, there's a little pin right there. You can click on that link, and that will register you for the $29 2-week free trial. Now, just really quick, I just want to kind of point out. Let me just fix something here for everybody. If you want to, like the Deborah, if you could just click where it says send to all participants, you could share your chat, and anyone else wants to share your thoughts of the cyber group room. Let me just tell everybody just really quick what you're going to get. The first 20 people will be allowed to go in the cyber group room, okay? So if you are the first 20 people, if you really want to get in, You have to call in and register now. If you aren't the first 20 people, you have to wait another 2 weeks before the next 20 come in. It's a lot of questions, a lot of answers. We don't just throw everybody in there. It's by reservation only for the first 20 people. So there's over 170 people here. I know all of you are not going to buy it, okay? But I know a majority, a lot of you will. If you're thinking about it, listen, there's no thinking about it. You like that stock, you could have just all jumped in and bought. Just even now, you probably would have made the money on CLDX. But try the 2 weeks. We do a morning meeting, an afternoon meeting. During the day, we talk about options. We talk about Forex. We trade together with you. Watch what it's like to be in the trading room. Watch what my students are doing. Watch what I'm doing. And for that small fee, you'll see if trading's for you or not. But this is something I tell all my students to do. Stop trading. If you're going to want to learn, take the 2 weeks off, see what it's like to be in a professional trading room, because trading's not for everyone, ladies and gentlemen. I have a lot of students that bought this $29 package, and then they said, you know what, after we spoke to them, like, my God, Fausto, thank you so much. I couldn't pay you enough because that $29 I spent would have been a $29,000 loss. All right, so let's find out the real truth, what it's all about. So go out there and make yourself investment. Now, for tomorrow, we're going to be doing a part 2 to this class. We're going to go out there and doing some live trading. So for all of you here want to join me tomorrow, it's free, no charge, okay? You can come for about an hour. But the thing is this, join the $29 package, lock yourself in to be the first 20, because even if you come tomorrow for free and then you decide you want to do it, you're probably going to be locked out for another 2 weeks, okay? So don't waste any time if you want to register for it. There's my personal email address. Now, if you guys want to register, you can go to www.ctucorp.co, or you can give us a call and talk to an education advisor. A couple of questions coming across here. Just want to answer them. Can you send me an email as well? I'd like a copy of your journal from Jim. Jim, there's my email address right here at the bottom. Okay, right there. Just send me an email and I'll get it to you, Jim, okay? Rick says it's cheaper than a cup of coffee every day. Well, you know what? Listen, I wish I can convince all of you to jump in and join us. I just hope that some of you can get in before everybody else does. But the thing is this: I want to share something with you. Okay? Is everybody ready to see this? I want to bring something up and share it with all of you. Does everybody see my screen? Does everybody see the screen okay? Okay. All right. This is my chat room, right? And you see where I wrote it here at exactly 12:50? Does everybody see that? CLDX making a Fausto flag, something I teach you in my class. All right? Let me just bring up the thing a little bit bigger for you. I called that out when you guys are standing here at 12:50. When I told you to buy that, when I told them it was doing what it was doing, the price of the stock was $15.80. Does everybody see that? $15.80. The price of the stock just went to $15.90. Does everybody see that? The stock right now is at $15.90. Does everybody see that right there? Stock moved 10 cents since I just showed you. How did I know that? That is what I'm going to teach you in the cyber group. Because you all could just paid for the, on that one trade, if you bought 1,000 shares of it, you would have made yourself $100. Not bad for a day's pay, right? Any last minute questions? Thank you very much, Mike, for sharing that. Mike was one of the on-site students that was here last week. What does the cat? No problem, Barry. A lot of the students that are in the cyber group room are actually logged into here also. Jason, yes. What I do tomorrow morning, I will discuss the morning picks. I do when you log into the Cyber Group room for $29. I'm going to go over in great detail of how I go through the picks, what I'm looking at, why they're going up, all that good stuff. Doug says, I sent him my $29. Where do I go now? Okay, Don, this is what you do. You should be able to log into your dashboard, and once you register on your dashboard on CyberTrade University, it would say Cyber Group Room. You click on that, and that would turn it on. But I'm just going to give you a heads up. It's quiet right now. This is the worst time to trade. You're going to start seeing traders start picking up right around 2:30, start coming in, because things don't usually run till the last hour of the close. But what I would do, Don, is call the office, talk to an education advisor, and they'll walk you in great detail how to do that, okay? All right, then, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, this has been recorded, so you can go back and listen to your listening pleasure. First of all, like I said, thank you for all being here. I hope you enjoyed and learned a few good things about journaling and high-frequency trades and, seeing some winners and knowing that this is a game, not an investment. It's a great job, but the thing is you have to learn before you could earn. So make an investment. Come and join me for 29 bucks. And I guarantee you'll have the time of your life, and you wish you would have found me a long time ago. The thing is, you got to put some time away and learn first. So, let's go out there and try to trade together and see what it's all about. In the meantime, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. I'd like to thank some of the students coming here and sharing and voicing their opinions on CyberTrade University, supporting CyberTrade University, and letting all of you know how important education is. In the meantime, everyone, happy trading, good luck, and I look forward to seeing you all in the trading room. And if not, I'll see you tomorrow morning at 9:30 a.m. Thanks, everyone. Have a great day.